All right. Oh my God. You're even more beautiful than I remembered.
Jamie, we just started Zooming. What did
much.
Cassian say? What was the first thing Cassian said?
Don't say a word.
Wanted to make sure everyone gets to hear the first time we've spoken to each other, every word of it.
It's been
It
a
feels
while.
like it's been forever.
We're back, baby.
We're back.
How are you guys? What's going on?
I'm
What's been
good.
happening?
Listen,
what have you been talking about?
We need some fucking, I feel like our last pod sucked. We did one without you. That was good. And the second one we did, I feel like it sucked.
He hated it because we talked about crypto.
Finance and shit. It was just not good. So I went full Sharpie thing. I got some fucking questions for you guys. I want to hit you with it. So
do it.
I saw something and it was like, people are being paid to release 100 cockroaches into their house. And it's for like a month. They're not allowed to use anything to kill them. They just have to like let them live. And they're trying to see I think they're trying to test out some kind of like sound thing in the houses to see if it works. Or I forget exactly what it was because it was like weeks ago when I saw it. But my question would be for you guys, how much would someone have to pay you? I know, Jamie, this is tough for you. How much would someone have to pay you to release 100 cockroaches in your house? And they release them in your house. You get to go away for 24 hours. Then you come home and they're all over the place. They're all up in there. But here's the deal. After 30 days, you could do whatever you want. You call it exterminator, you do whatever. But in those first 30 days, you can't use anything to kill them.
You can't kill them? Can't step on them?
No.
I don't think this is a big deal for me.
I don't think I could do it.
We don't agree.
What a great, perfect. That's
not like us getting tied up where we're both
it's
simpatico.
like old times with you and I.
Yeah.
When we would answer at the same time.
What if you were both tied up with cockroaches put in your apartment? Then you guys are in.
Well,
this is a horror movie.
Here's the thing. I see an occasional cockroach like outside, like there's a lot of insects and bugs and creatures around my place. And so if I don't see them in the house, but don't they usually keep to themselves? Don't they stay out of your way? And so if I were to get paid,
don't they get in your food and shit and your garbages?
Well, they're not going to get into any food that I eat, I don't think, because everything's in the fridge, and the fridge is like
not in your pantry. You don't have a pantry.
I don't. I don't eat food out of the pantry.
We're both like single dudes. We don't have like food sitting around.
Yeah, you
You're not like me with like a grocery store in your pantry.
But here's like your pantry, Jamie's. You got everything's up like tied up in air sealed canisters and things. Like, would you?
Not everything, but yeah.
You know, I can see where your hesitancy lies. But if I got paid 10 grand to just like kind of have roommate cockroaches,
that's it?
Oh, I mean that I would sign up for that right now if somebody put a contract in front of me.
Jamie, should we put $5,000 up each, Jamie, and release 100 cockroaches in his house?
What kind of cockroach are they? Madagascar hissing cockroaches? Because
100. Do you know how much 100 cockroaches is? Like, can you just like close your eyes for 10 seconds?
Okay. Do you want me to
just
count them?
Envision 100. I'll count for the 10.
Do you want me to think of them like
100 cockroaches walking into your front door at the same time? That's fucking gross.
I'm hearing music. I'm hearing like,
guys, please, your shoes.
Imagine there's just 600 pairs of shoes by your door.
I couldn't do it.
It'd be like a mosque.
I need like
a Hare Krishna.
Few $1 million.
How much would you need?
Like a few million.
No, wow. Jamie, a few million to let loose 100 docile cockroaches?
Here's what I can tell you.
Your house is huge. You'd never see one.
Even more the reason you'll never get them all, you know?
It's fine.
I can tell you right now.
And they make babies.
If they have wings, if they fly, my price goes way up.
Don't all cockroaches have wings?
Yes, they can fly.
Not all cockroaches have wings. No, that's not true.
And they have the long antennae.
Hold on.
No.
Do you know this to be a fact?
Look it up.
I'm looking it up.
Do you know this
cockroaches
because
fly?
you Googled it before coming here, or you just know this?
No. This is something I would just say. There are cockroaches who don't fly.
You never give insect facts. This is crazy to me.
I never give, or I shouldn't give.
You don't, and you shouldn't.
But I think I have.
Cockroaches.
She's Googling it.
Do all cockroaches
such as
fly?
Asian brown, smoky brown, and wood roaches are very capable flyers, but others, such as American cockroaches, are a species that commonly just use their wings to glide.
Okay, Google, do all cockroaches have wings?
We've got to know the answer.
There's no way. I grew up in a fucking apartment where there were cockroaches everywhere. None of them flew around.
But they don't, just because they don't fly around doesn't mean they don't have them. Like a penguin. Penguins have wings.
No, but they didn't have wings visual. Like
all of them have wings.
No way. There's no way.
I mean, I thought they did.
Not all cockroaches that have wings can fly.
But they all have wings.
Only a handful of species that are known for their flying ability, but they all have wings.
They don't look like they have wings, but they sit on their back real like clean. You don't see the wing. You know what I mean? They're not like
all
out
55
like
types of cockroaches that live in the U.S. have wings.
New York City cockroach. Hold on, 83rd Street between 1st and 2nd Avenue cockroaches have wings.
I thought you were going to teach me something.
You just have some lazy ass cockroaches that weren't wanting to take flight.
I could tell you there. I could picture the cockroach. You'd open up the fucking bread in the morning and there'd be cockroaches in there. None of them flew.
See?
What was that movie? Joe's Apartment with Jerry O'Connell?
Yeah, that's how I grew up.
Speaking of just crazy insects, I opened my front door to get the mail the other day. What was probably 1,000 bees were on my front porch. 1,000.
Remember when that happened to us at your house, at the Venice house, when a swarm of bees came at us? That was crazy.
Same
swarm.
Wait, what?
Same
swarm.
What's going on?
I don't know if they're attracted to me or the things I keep.
They were just like waiting at your front door.
They must have just been lost. Maybe they were looking for their queen who got misplaced. I didn't have any gardeners that day. There was nothing that would have shaken up the place. But I opened the front door. It was like this. I opened it. I was like, oh, fuck. Yeah. And then you could just hear it. It was like.
Did any come inside?
None came inside. But if you go out in my front yard right now, there's probably 200 of them dead on the ground.
Wow.
What do you think happened?
200? So go outside
sacrifice.
and look at them and imagine that many cockroaches in your house.
Okay. But like, would you rather have bees in your house or cockroaches? I'm going cockroaches.
Yellow jackets?
No.
I don't want to be anywhere near this conversation anymore.
Okay, good. Because Rob's got a fucking full book
you should
ready
see this Sharpie. You should see this Sharpie. I'm not going to show you the questions, but look at this. It's
you can
full.
show it. Yeah.
Yep. Can't wait.
Nobody will understand.
This thing stinks. I'm getting high off of it.
All right. So listen, something happened to my brother. I don't know if I ever brought this up. Something happened to my brother where he and his girlfriend's family, I believe, got an Airbnb, and he brought his own bar of soap to the Airbnb. And when they got to the Airbnb had soap, but he used his own bar of soap, and then he put it back in the box, put it into the corner of the shower. Shout out to Michael. Never loved him more after hearing this, because that's my steez. That's my style. He put it in the corner, got out of the shower. Okay. Then later, when his girlfriend was like in the room with him or whatever, she's like, oh yeah, when I used I took a shower and I used the soap that was in the box. Like I took it, and he's like, that was my soap. Like, and she's like,
girlfriend.
Wait, hold on. That's what I said. Okay. And I'm crazy.
Yeah.
I'm nuts.
Okay.
Now the girlfriend's mom the next day in the morning at breakfast or whatever is like, oh yeah, well, when I was showering, there was a soap in the yeah. He's like, when I was showering, there was a soap in the box, and I used that soap, and blah blah blah. So here's the question, right? Ultimately, where's the line? Like,
at the father,
yeah,
because another man's pubes and like sack. I'd say the mom is the line, but you can't. So here, let me
ask you: when you take the bar of soap and you rub the bar of soap all over your body,
I do it all. I get real comfy.
That's how you do it.
So
here's, if I may,
because I take it in my hands and I'll get a bunch of lather and then I'll put this down and then I'll.
Where do you put it, Jeremy?
Rub my body with soap.
See, I will sometimes get comfy and I'll do both. So I'll rub my hands, I'll get it going. But then as I'm going, I'll just take the other hand with the soap and start rubbing that on my body too. So I got one hand full of suds, the other hand full of suds, and the bar of soap, and we're doing double time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My technique's even different. This is why the three of us together are the Holy Trinity. I will take the bar of soap, create a lather my body, then take the soap, put it into a mini towel.
Yes.
If I'm
washcloth, also known as
a mini towel. This is usually when I'm in a hotel room, by the way.
Because those are what you want to be using.
In my room, my master bath, I have the shower puff,
right,
with the body wash.
Very masculine.
But it's about getting clean. Nothing's more masculine than being super clean. You understand?
True.
I will take the bar of soap, put it in the towel. Then I will go over my lathered body with the abrasive towel, the shower towel.
Yeah.
And you call it what's it called?
Washcloth.
A washcloth.
Yeah, white trash. But I think on your mom's house, they argued that like washcloths are a white trash thing. Like you should just use your hands, that washcloths are white trash.
In a hotel room.
What about a loofah?
That's like fancy white trash.
In a hotel room, aren't you getting a better clean with the combo of the bar of soap and the washcloth?
I would never use a washcloth from a hotel because I just think there's a million people's cum that's been on it and they wash it.
But you use the towel to dry off.
Like, but I don't get like comfortable with it like I do at home. Like I do. And by the way, you've seen me at an Airbnb. What did Robbie bring?
He brings his own sheets and he brings his own towels.
What
do Robbie bring?
That's how Robbie bring. Yeah, I bring my own fucking sheets and towels. But if I'm gonna use a washcloth, it's gonna be mine. I would never, because I know how much cum I've put on washcloths in hotel
I know how
rooms.
much cum you are capable of producing. Now, if I think of 100 comes in my house for a month, washcloth.
Yeah.
I do that for free.
So no, but here's the question. Where does the line get crossed where you go, yes, that person could use, like, here's what I think. If I'm fucking someone, they could use my soap. No problem. If I have a child, that child could use my soap until it's fucking. Once my kid's fucking and 18, 19, in his 20s and shit, I don't want him using my soap.
I cut the kid off at 11 before they start jacking, right before, maybe even 10. I let the mom
We
slide.
don't use soap bars here, so this is not my problem.
Right, but we're just we only use an imaginary washes. I only use body wash too, but I'm playing the game. Play the game.
We let the mom slide. We cut it off at the stepdad or the girlfriend's
See,
dad.
if I find out my girlfriend's mom is used my soap, I'm very upset. I'm never using the soap again. I'm also very upset. And
it's the pube being stuck in the actual.
Of course, it's the pube. That's all in the butthole.
You're guaranteed to get the pube from the dad because they don't shave their balls or their pube patch, and their butts are hairy. But the women, the moms, usually maintain and they will go and clean the bar before they put it back in the box. Typically, a man does not care.
I just think any girl that I'm dating, for some reason, I picture their moms as always being like hippies back in the day, and they're like.
Crunchy,
free love, whatever the fuck. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I just think that they're going to be like, I don't want them using my soap. I don't really want anyone using my soap, to be honest. I would prefer. Now, here's the thing, Jamie, can anyone use your toothbrush?
No.
Okay. So if you and Cutter are in a hotel room and he says, listen, I don't have a toothbrush.
Yes, he can use
your tune changed real quick on that.
Well, I just thought you meant like, if we're in a situation like that, yeah, it's okay.
Would you let me or Rob use a toothbrush in a pinch? Your toothbrush?
No.
You would let us go toothbrushless?
Well, you can use your finger.
What if we only had one bar of soap and we were staying somewhere? Do you not use the soap?
Would you use the soap?
I don't sweat, so I'll just rinse off.
Okay.
What would you share?
Do you use deodorant, Jamie?
You know what? Not all the time. Like sometimes I just forget and it's okay.
I've never once smelled an odor on you that wasn't pleasant.
Never.
That's
I've
nice.
known Jamie 25 years.
You know what? I'm really
happy that
I've worked for that reputation, and I receive
and trust me,
I like it.
You work so hard. Half the time you forget to put on deodorant.
Now I just feel like like back when I was probably a sweaty young thing, I definitely needed it.
That's sweaty young thing.
But like worked hard to always smell nice. I was like that girl.
Young thing.
Now, word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. Guys, you know that I'm a sucker for talk therapy. I, for years, used to spend, I'm embarrassed to say this, I used to spend $320 a session with a therapist who was great.
And look at him now.
Look at me now. But this was before things like BetterHelp was an option. Like, to find this therapist, I had to go to Jamie. Jamie's like, I hear this guy's really great. And then I had to kind of audit this guy and see if but now all I have to do is download betterhelp.com. I put in the information, my personal information. I put in the types of things that I am looking to talk about or work on. I get matched with a therapist within 48 hours of signing up. I have access to this therapist all week. We have a session every week where we talk. but also I can message him in a little chat area and he can message me back anytime. So they're always available. And it is a fraction of the cost of what it was costing me to do talk therapy before.
And here's what I
That's
love.
right.
The sponsors who come back, the reason they come back to us are because our fans are using them. Our listeners are using,
exactly.
the viewers are using, where some people, they come once, they don't come back. BetterHelp has come back more than anyone, which means our listeners are using them. And I think it's amazing that we have a group of people who feel like, you know, the whole, what is it called when people are like, no, not therapy,
they're open, receptive.
Because how you take care of your minds is how you affects how you experience life. So it's so important to take the time to invest in yourself and keeping the most important part of yourself healthy, which is your mind and your brain and your self-worth and all of that kind of stuff. So our listeners will get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/pajama. That's betterhelp.com/pajama. 10% off your first month.
Shopify. Here's our girl, Shine, Jamie-Lynn.
Jamie, didn't you use Shopify for your Mama Said podcast?
I did. For Mama Said, our Mama Said podcast, we use Shopify to help us just with merch stuff. But I don't think people realize how much Shopify can do for entrepreneurs. You know, the resources that once were reserved for big businesses, are now available for upstarts and startups and established businesses alike, and can help you sell everywhere. They can help you synchronize online and in-person sales, help you stay effortlessly informed. They help you scale your business and its journey. And believe me, what they made simple for me, what they can make all of these simple for you. So like mine, Shopify powers millions of businesses from first sale to full scale. You can reach customers online, like I said, across social networks, the ever-growing suite of channel integration and apps, including Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, and more, helps you gain insights. Again, it's more than just a store. Shopify will grow with you, and this is a possibility powered by Shopify. So go to shopify.com/pajama, all lowercase, for a free 14-day trial and get full access to Shopify's entire suite of features. So grow your business with Shopify today. Go to shopify.com/pajama right now. Shopify.com/pajama.
It's so good to flip and see you, dude.
You too.
Last
You look
time,
great.
You look good. You don't look like you just survived COVID, but
I know, but I did. It got me. It finally got all of us.
yeah. What was that
Sucked.
like? Explain. Let's talk. Let's get through it.
We started feeling funky in New York. It started with Cutter, and it's weird. We were on our way to New York, to the city, and he was like, man, I don't feel right. I'm like, oh God, so hope you don't get sick. And I took a sip of his water in the car, and we don't really share drinks, and I knew it. The second I knew it, I was like, I fucking just got COVID from him. Like, I just had a weird feeling.
Did you
we
know
were going to see a Broadway
Cutter
play
had
with
COVID, or he was just sick?
No,
or starting to get
just sick.
Yeah.
But it was like, it hit him so fast. It was like on the way to the city, he was like, And then we went to a doctor's appointment and then met Minka to go see a Broadway show. And thank God we had to be masked at the Broadway show, because that's when he started like being around people. And he was like, I don't feel good. And he left. And he went to the restaurant before us and to go buy tests. And the tests came back negative. But then when we sat down to eat, he was like, I really don't feel good. And he had another test in his bag. So I was like, do another one, like at the table. And it came up positive at the table. So we left. We went back. And the next day I had like a really important like medical like thing to do. And I called my doctor and he's like, we're going to test you, everything. I got tested. I felt fine. I was negative. I went through with what I needed to go through, got my medication, went home that night, and I was like, I don't feel good. And Bo was supposed to go sleep at his cousin's the next day. So I was like, and they were all leaving for Campton. So I'm like, Bo, let's test you. So we test Bo just because we're thinking, let's just make sure you're negative and get you out of the house to my brother's house. He shows up positive.
Oh.
No symptoms.
And he had just had it.
He had it in January.
Oh, okay. So not crazy. Yeah.
Then that night, in the middle of the night, Jack wakes up and vomits all over me.
Oh, no.
And has 104 fever.
Woof.
Jack, still to this day, has tested negative. He was just kept testing negative, but he was really sick. So then that next morning, Cutter's really sick. He has everything. He has sore throat, headaches, doesn't feel good. And I'm starting to feel like a runny nose. I'm not sure. Still testing negative. Went to urgent care, got PCR'd, negative. So I'm trying to stay away from everyone, just taking care of Jack though. Then the next day, I got hit with the worst body aches and chills I've ever experienced in my entire life. I couldn't fucking move. I couldn't walk. I started getting really scared. I had to army crawl to the bathroom in the middle of the night and then didn't have the strength to put myself up on the toilet. So I had to scream and wake up my mom to get Cutter. It was so bad. But it lasted 2 days and then that was it. And then another day later, I tested positive finally.
Yeah. Wow.
Which was crazy. And then Bo tested negative 2 days later. I don't know. It's so weird, but it finally got all of us and it sucked.
And your mom and dad were all
And
good?
then we weren't home. My mom and dad didn't get it. Thank God. We really stayed careful with them. But then you're in someone's house with 4 of us fucking have COVID. We felt so bad.
It's crazy.
It sucked.
Man.
But then we got better and we just went to our best friends, the Swishers' house. They have a house on a lake in Georgia. And we went there for the 4th of July with a couple of other families. And it was great. It was nice to get out of the house and do something like that with the kids before I go back to work and all that stuff. And I haven't tested, but I could test positive for so long, right?
Yeah, I think it's 14 days and you're fine.
It took me a full 8 days to test negative. So from the first day I tested positive till the 8 days after I tested negative.
Did you feel symptoms before you tested positive?
Yes.
Or was it the same time? You did.
I remember texting some coworkers of mine because I had come back from a convention that I had to work. And 2 days after that, I was like, I just don't feel good. It feels different than a regular cold. I'm like, I bet you I have COVID. And then I got full body aches, full chills. That was the one thing I hadn't really experienced on that level, is the amount of body aches and the chills. I didn't really get sneezy or
me neither. I got none.
I got a little cough after the body chills and aches, but it went away pretty quick. Definitely felt different than any other sickness I had, but it was it was like you said, 2 days, and then I was in the clear. Yeah. And then it's just then it's just waiting to test positive, so because you feel fine, but then you got to go back to work. So.
Well, my work was telling me that I don't think they are going to test me for 90 days.
Because you can test positive for up to 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So they're not going to waste their money.
No, because as long as you do your quarantine or you're gone, I think.
I'm well past 10 days now.
You're ABC. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Disney. Yeah.
Disney. We had NBC's a 10-day policy. So I'm sure you guys are very similar.
ABC. Yeah. They purposely put my first day towards the end of the episode too. I don't work until the 14th or something.
Dude, hell yeah.
So everybody's back. The boys are feeling good.
Yeah. Everybody's back to normal. Good. We're home.
Cutter's all right.
Cutter's good.
He has a new lease on life.
Who got it worse?
No more anxiety. No more.
He got it way worse.
Yeah.
Meaning he had the sore throat. I actually did have 103 fever the night I had the bad chills. Mm-hmm. But he was fever, tired, nauseous, very, very bad sore throat, stuffy. Thank God I didn't get any of that. I hate that shit.
Jamie, you know what we talked about last week? Me and Cassian did karaoke.
Do you have videos?
Nope.
We have
videos.
Had to be there. Yeah, it was a private party, and we were in a little room, just a couple of us in there singing.
What'd you sing?
Cassian did Creed and blew the roof off the place.
Creed?
Yeah, it was incredible, James.
Is that like a song you do a lot
No,
of karaoke?
I just got back into Creed after like 20 years. I just got back into it. And I challenge anyone listening.
Did you do a little Arms Wide Open? What'd you sing?
Don't be fucking stupid. Wow. Of course I did.
Yeah, and My Sacrifice.
Can we hear a little bit of it?
Jamie, maybe if they follow us on Instagram, I'll throw up a story on the PJ Pants Instagram. This is... I'm 6 feet from the edge and I'm thinking maybe 6 feet ain't so far down.
Jamie, he did not.
Terrible lyrics.
He did not sing. He did not sing Creed. It was a full performance. Like
it was an impersonation.
Foot up on the table, like the guitar, the whole. It was incredible.
I'm starting something.
I'm sorry it was in a private room. Listen, I feel like you could have killed an entire restaurant.
Jamie, I challenge you. I challenge anyone listening to this. This is the Creed challenge. Put on any of the top 4 or 5 Creed hits. And if you don't find yourself singing along or bopping your head
like him
and trying to sing like Scott Stapp, you don't have a soul. This is music that even though we've pegged it like lame because it's Christian rock, there's the music.
No one's pegging it's lame because it's Christian rock.
Maybe that was just me, but
lines of lyrics you just sang were so bad.
Well, let's dissect it. Okay. I'm 6 feet from the edge and I'm thinking maybe 6 feet ain't so far down. Right. Now he's talking about, will he jump or is killing himself being 6 feet under that big of a proposition? Because is it that far down? Is being buried in the ground that far down? Should I get closer or is 6 feet too far away from the edge?
Oh, see, that's not how I took it.
I don't know what it means.
Okay, here's what I took. See? I'm 6 feet. Oh, Jamie, the great lyrics make you think. I'm 6 feet from the edge and I'm thinking maybe 6 feet ain't so far down, meaning maybe I should jump.
Because I'm not high up.
Maybe
he's not. He's not 6 feet up in the air. He's 6 feet from the edge of a cliff.
Yeah.
And he's saying if he jumps, he would then be buried 6 feet underground. And maybe that's not that bad.
So it's not, but in a Christian rock record where it's all about Jesus, are we saying that he has a song that's praising suicide?
He's thinking about it. And I think probably in the song, what happens is Jesus saves him and tells him not to.
Oh, you're saying maybe
because his arms are wide open.
Whoa.
By the way, whose arms was most famously wide open?
With arms wide open.
Jesus on the cross.
Wow. Never thought about it that way.
Under the spotlight. Welcome to this place. I show you everything. With arms wide
open.
Scott Stapp, and that is the clip of the week.
Didn't he go cuckoo banana?
Sure, yeah. Was he guilty of like domestic abuse?
Reply underneath.
Allegedly, I don't know. Should we find out? Because
I don't know.
Maybe he lost.
Usually,
he was in
NR. You know,
these guys are.
I just got all smashed up.
He attempted suicide.
It ain't so far down. Well, maybe it was. You know, he's like God called his bluff.
Wow. He's had mental health issues.
Well, when you sing like an angel, sometimes the other side isn't so pretty, you know.
He's been to prison. He's got alcohol and drug addiction. He decided to jump from his hotel balcony.
Whoa. And he's got a lot of money.
Well, he looks like Shia LaBeouf a little bit in this one.
A little bit. A lot of money means he has a big balcony, so he could stand 6 feet from the edge of his balcony. I don't have that much money. I'm usually like 2 feet from the edge, max.
First floor.
Yeah, bottom 3.
It's not so far down. He wound up homeless and penniless.
I don't think he's saying.
I don't know what he's saying.
But listen to me.
Yeah.
I'm 6 feet from the edge. I'm thinking 6 feet ain't so far down.
Maybe
he could be on a 100-foot cliff. What he's saying is, if he jumped,
it's not a big deal because I'm just dead.
He would be dead, and maybe that's not so bad. Maybe 6 feet ain't so far down. Like that's not such a bad thing to be dead.
Imagine having that song be a chart topper, a Billboard top song, and then jumping off a balcony.
What about
nothing's more real than this?
What about we start a new podcast where every week we dissect a Creed song?
Maybe just a couple lines, Jamie.
I mean,
you're the singer in the group.
Conversation had started now.
This
I'm down
all
for
came
this.
from whose mom is allowed to use your soap.
And that's Pajama Pants Pod.
Pajama Pants is now the Creed rewatch.
All right.
Podcast.
So, Cass,
Re-listen.
Cass, Jamie, can your mom and dad use your soap?
Yeah, my mom,
but not your dad. And is that like a genes thing? Like you feel like she gave birth to you? You guys have the same gene?
No, I think he just because I would think he would probably not put the bar down.
Oh, but she would. Yeah, she's the lather up rub. All right. So what about you? Who in your family would you be okay with using your soap? Can your brother use your soap?
No. If he are you saying just borrow once or like
no? You're
constantly?
in the shower. You find out, hey, your brother used your soap. Does that bother you or no?
One time he used it. So I need to know frequency.
You could live together and then you find out. Like, here's the thing. I think
it would be fine, but what I would do is I would go get him his own bar and be like, this is your bar.
What if he's like, I like your bar?
No, you're not allowed to use my bar.
Okay. No, I think it is like somebody comes out of the shower, they used your soap. What do you do? Like for me, there's certain people, like if it's the girl I'm banging, use my soap. If it's somebody else, like I would just not use that soap anymore. I would get a new soap. I'd be like, you keep the soap. That's your soap now. I get my own soap.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Get your own soap.
Here's the other debate, Jamie. This happened. There was barbecue at my house. My brother got corn on the cob. He took the butter. He puts the butter all over the corn, right? And then he's got the piece that's left when you got like the butter left or whatever. He took it and he flicked it in on the lawn, like into the backyard.
The melted piece of butter?
Yeah, like half. Let's say he took like a cube of butter and then half of it, when it was like, oh, I've got enough butter, he flicked the
in the lawn,
the butter onto the grass in the backyard.
Yeah.
Half of my family goes, yeah, it's fine. It's just butter that he threw in the lawn. The other half are like, what are you, a savage?
Sure.
Where were you born? Where were you raised?
You're not going to use it again. I would probably put it into like a napkin on a plate, but I wouldn't also like, it's not that big of a deal to throw it on the lawn. It's like food. It's going to melt and go away.
Yeah, that was kind of my thought. The only problem I had with it was if somebody steps on it, brings it in the house.
I mean, you're outside. I mean, you're probably stepping on lots of fucking shit.
Okay.
Hello, sharks. I'd like to present you an invention of mine. And for $500,000, you can have 10% of my company, which is
okay,
the corn butter handheld device. Okay, we're working on the name. You put the stick of butter in this contraption, and the end of it, you hold it and you butter the corn, and you slowly push, on the end of it to make sure there's always butter coming out the other side.
It's like a push pop of butter.
It's a push pop of butter.
Do you have a patent?
Patent
pending?
We have one. We have one pending. We have one pending.
Oh, wait,
we do have competitors.
Let me write that down.
Push pop of butter. You never have to worry. Listen, sharks. Have you ever been at a barbecue?
You're supposed to say thank you for your time.
I'm not done.
But she said she's out.
Oh well, I appreciate the consideration.
There you go. I'm still in. Keep selling.
Have you ever been at a barbecue with your family and then your brother takes the leftover piece of butter that he used to butter his corn and flicks it in the lawn like a savage? Sounds like you've had some experience.
Well, big family,
What if I told you didn't have to do that anymore? Isn't that something?
But how?
Isn't that something?
How?
With my new push pop, butter pop pusher.
Well, we're going to work on the name.
We're going to work on the name. That's why I need a shark like you.
Gotcha.
You simply stick your butter in, butter your cob, pass it on to the next person. You can let your girlfriend's mom, your girlfriend's dad use it without shame or feeling like it's dirty.
Butter for the whole family.
Butter for the whole family.
Maybe that's your name.
Slick fam. Grease daddy.
So yeah, I don't know. I think my dad was like beside himself at this. He couldn't believe that he raised this young man.
This is fun.
That he just would throw.
Because also is, how much butter are we talking? Like 2 tablespoons or like a little bitty
like,
thing?
it was probably a cube, probably a cube. Like it's not the amount of butter. My dad is just like, so what my dad did was he walked inside, he got a paper towel, went, picked it up and threw it in the garbage.
Right. I get that. I would probably do that. If I saw it on the floor and it had a napkin, I would pick it up.
So Cassian just looked up the corn cob butter thing and it's already been done. What's the word?
Of course it is.
Fox Run butter?
Of course it is, Jamie.
Jamie's shitting all over you.
They have gadget.
This is exactly what I just said.
In a kitchen, like everything you can imagine.
By the way, the name
or gadget wise in the kitchen,
not any better than what I was doing. Fox Run butter spreader with built-in cover. Fuck yourself.
Unless a Fox Run is another YouTuber and he's using his. It's
audience. Exactly what I just described. It's a piece of plastic. You put the butter in, and it's got a curved end. $10 gets you this.
Wow.
Yep.
It goes to show you that I've got some real quality ideas here. It's just my timing of the market is off.
Well, you know what they say, timing the market is better than timing the market. That's why we had a
that's a
financial
secret of comedy.
That's why we had a financial pod last week.
45
minutes of us going, well, we think crypto's okay.
Right. The real saying is
how's it doing right now?
The market beats timing the market.
Time in
the market.
I don't think Jamie gets it.
Time in the market beats timing the market. Just stay in there. So Jamie, here's what
she wishes she never came back to the pod.
Here's this. I'm just fucking boom. I got all the fucking sharp.
Get ready, baby.
Today.
I'm ready.
You go to a friend's restaurant, Jamie. A friend opens up a brand new restaurant. They go, I want you to come and then try the food, have the food, whatever. You go to your friend's restaurant. They treat you like a fucking queen. They walk in. Oh, how are you? This is great. They're sending you all the food. It's time for the bill. Oh, you know what? Dinner's on us. Thank you so much. You know, great. Thank you. You leave. You walk out. You go and you look at the person you went to dinner with. And you go, the food was terrible, right? And they go, yeah, it was awful. What do you do? Do you tell the friend? Do you go, hey, thank you so much. I appreciate you paying dinner for this, but the food was just not good because you want to help them out? Or do you just go, thank you so much, everything was great? I
would just wait for someone else to tell them how bad it is.
You will always be in that person's mind, even if they hear you and they go, thank you so much for telling me you're a real friend, and they go and change the menu and then it gets better. You'll always be the person that told them their food sucked.
Okay, here's my thought. Depends how close the friend is. If it's one of you guys, I couldn't sleep at night telling you the food was good and thank you. I would have to tell you the truth. I'd have to be like, hey, maybe try this. I didn't think. But if it was just somebody who I barely knew and I could just fucking.
You're not going to say anything.
Yeah, if I don't have to deal with it. I don't want to be like, oh, I barely know you. The food sucked. Thanks for the fucking whatever.
Yeah. I wish you would have employed that tactic with certain people I've dated.
No, I wait until it's over. Like Jamie with her, Jamie with her marriage. When the marriage was over, I was like, I never liked that guy. And she's like, yeah, thanks a lot. Because we're
not talking about my last one, by the way.
No. Because we're saying when you're in the thing, you're blind to it. You can't be. You know what I mean? You can't. I can't pull you aside and go, Jamie. Hey, I know you're about to get married, but
of course,
So you just gotta let them. You gotta let them go. You gotta let people run. People gotta learn their own lessons.
Yeah, you do.
How's the hot tub?
Oh my God! Do I look different? Do I look like a man who owns a jacuzzi who soaks every night and get the pressure of 162 jets and every part of my body's being massaged? Yeah, sitting in 102 degree water. Yeah, it's just, I guess me and Jamie both have hot tubs, and you got one in your building.
Yeah, my building's got a hot tub.
You got one in your building.
I'm not worried. I don't need a hot tub. I'm a go with the flow, low maintenance kind of guy.
Let me tell you this: we did had a 4th of July just recently, and there were
so American of you to say it that way.
That's right. I saw Top Gun twice in the theater, and what a hell of a movie.
I loved it, but I don't think I could sit through it again.
You can't.
It's because you're not as attracted to men as Cassian is.
I appreciate a good-looking man.
Yeah.
Miles Teller's neck vein in that movie alone. Oh,
I didn't even know he was
credit. Yeah. I don't know if it was like this in your part of town, but there was fireworks in people's backyards, full on professional fireworks happening
crazy
everywhere.
So stupid.
It's unreal. Stupid. And on the fucking dogs. No one gives a shit about the dogs, but everyone has a dog. And my dog has gone retarded over the last 10 years based on the trauma.
My dog's retarded.
Yeah. He is literally, I'm not saying retarded. I'm not using it. He is becoming retarded.
Yeah.
From the amount of trauma he's received and the stress just in the weeks leading up to 4th of July and the few days after. There's still last night, this morning, it's Wednesday morning, 9 a.m. a firework went off this morning.
Jeez.
9
a.m.
day? In the day.
That's the alarm clock. That's the woo woo. Oh, shout out.
Dude.
It's the 10% of people who laughed at that.
It's out of control. Go look it up. What would they Google for that YouTube video? Woo woo.
Oh, I don't know. Whistle
woo,
muffler.
Yeah.
That's that woo woo. Let's hit.
We got emails.
We got emails, Jamie. You ready for some emails?
Bring it.
Okay, here's a question. I'm just going to this is my first time reading them, okay? This one's from Steve. He says, hey guys, love the pod and how it feels like we're just a bunch of friends catching up on the reg. There's a part of me that relates to everyone, from Jamie just wanting a quick fuck from time to time, Rob and his path to becoming a better person, and Cass with his love of getting a gaming vacay due to COVID. Anyways, my girl and I are looking into moving to Austin in the fall. Were there any areas you suggest we stay? We live in Vancouver, Washington, at the Vancouver, Washington. Is there a Vancouver in Washington? And can't stand our homeowners association. They keep finding us for petty things like having an extra car parked in the community. Plus, we don't like the cold and rain. We're debating if we should just sell our home and funnel it into a new one. And we also love how everyone's now being called babe. So thanks, Steve. His question is pretty much, do they move to Austin and where?
Well, I mean, move to Austin, yeah. But it depends. Like, do you have kids? Like, are you a young couple? Because I think that really makes a difference in where you live, because where I live, it's all families. Like it is straight up like families, young families.
Yeah.
And it's not ideal, I don't think, for like, if I lived out here as like a newlywed young couple that like was a little while away from thinking about having a family, I would not be here yet.
Unless you're like me and you want to be away from everybody. But
but even where you're looking, you're going to be looking in more of a like a younger, hipper, closer to downtown. It's just like a different vibe. It just is.
Well, listen, if I had enough money, enough money to live in your community, Jamie, I would. And if I drove a car, I would,
right,
no problem living where you live, Jamie. I would never.
If it was your neighborhood, I would move there.
Yeah, I'd be like Cutter. I would never leave the grounds, as they say.
He says, I don't leave the gates.
Okay, great.
There is Gabby, keep that
in. Gabby, keep that
in. There is downtown Austin is a place, like a hip place where people like to do, but you told me to stay. What was that place called? Like there's South Congress, there's Zilker. That's where I stayed, yeah.
But I know even East Austin's kind of cool. Terrytown, which is like right next to the city. I mean, just come explore it.
Yeah.
You know, it's definitely a really cool place. There's a lot to offer. It's fun. It is so hot right now. I got so teased last summer. It was such a mild summer. Like every single day is 105 by 3 p.m.
But by nighttime, it's nice.
It's still like 90 degrees at night.
So we got another email, but also after this one, because we gave dating advice to a young lady on the last one, and I saw that she had written in. I saw a couple, and it was like, "You called me lonely." Like, I want to see what she has to say.
Okay, I'll read that one in a sec. This one's kind of like a Sharpie question, so I'll read.
Oh, I love that.
This one's from Braden. He says, "Hey guys, first time writing in, but have been listening for about a year and been watching G4 since AEW was on. Love the stuff over there. Thanks, Braden. I'm sure you've already got plenty of emails from Star Wars fans saying that they love the pod. Well, here's another one. We did ask if there were crossover between Sopranos fans and Star Wars fans.
Oh.
Yeah, we asked that.
Yeah, we all wanted to know. I don't know if you guys have seen, but a British scientist has made a new drug that's being produced that can supposedly make you live for about 200 years. If this drug does work, do you think you'll be taking it? I really think this could be a groundbreaking moment for society, but it does lead to a ton of questions. Thanks. Love you guys. Thanks, Braden. I mean, if I can afford something like this, I would absolutely take it. I mean, every day
plasma TVs. Within 10 years, everyone will be able to afford it.
I would
flat screens.
There's not one part of me that would like consider not taking it.
Yeah.
So I have an interesting kind of depressing take though, because to be honest, if I have to live with MS for 200 years, I don't want to.
Well, are you happy?
Well, no, because I don't.
If I that sounds like torture to me. Like If you can't guarantee
that doesn't look like torture to Cass. He's loving it. Look at this guy.
I'm sorry, you're having a real moment. And
no,
it just came. You hit me so fucking blindsided me with your answer.
Well, I tried to warn you.
Yes, I know. Depressing. It is depressing.
But Jamie, you don't think within the next 160 years they're going to figure out a cure?
I have no idea. I hope so.
Oh, Jamie, come on. Elon put out a tweet today. We will be on Mars in your lifetime. That means MS is gone.
So you can have MS on Mars.
yeah. Mars MS will be gone within fucking 20 years, James. Come on. Hopefully it's within the next 5.
If that's the case, then yeah.
Yeah. You only, how about this? You only have to live with MS to 175. And then the last 25 years, they figure out a cure.
Ultimate. That's you're working for the weekend.
Bring me back as a baby.
Listen, everybody looks like anybody who makes it to 150 looks like shit. Imagine what you look like at 200. Jesus, 109. No one's going to want to go near you.
I don't know. I see some of these Japanese old ladies that are 115. They don't look that bad.
Yeah, but
they're walking to the river to get their fish every day.
And also, listen, I didn't live like those Japanese ladies. My fun wasn't walking to the river. My fun was fucking doing 30 Molly. And
what if like you can live to 200, but at 125, your dick stops working forever?
Oh, that's fine. I'm waiting for that.
You're okay.
You're okay. That day is, Jamie, here's the thing. Your MS might be great to have at 150 because think about how bad people's houses smell when they're like 150. You go in, it's like, ugh, that smell. You're not sweating. You know what I mean?
It's true.
150-year-old Jamie's place smells like Diptyque candles.
That's right.
Amazing. Shout out to Diptyque.
I still have mine. You got me.
Merry Christmas.
Is this the one here?
This to all my Christian brothers and sisters out there.
Rob's advice, part 2. Hello again, Pajama Pants crew. I sent an email a week or so ago for dating advice from Rob. I'm Rachel, the 32-year-old Australian with a ghost in the background of my photo. Firstly, thank you, boys, for addressing my question and giving great advice. I did try online dating for a year or so. Quite frankly, it sucked major donkey dicks. You boys pointed out that you should have a profile that reflects who you are. For example, not showing yourself in weird fake poses, standing at Machu Picchu, or going hiking. I didn't do any of those things, especially because I don't have any photos of me doing any of that because I've never done it, nor have the inkling to do so.
Awesome.
What happened to me was the opposite. I'd go for the people who seem to enjoy the same things as me, but most of the time, men were just pretending to enjoy what I like to get a date. One man had the audacity to ask me to go for a hike on our first date. Yuck. No.
Tom Segura tried it with Christina P. Christina P said, no, let's go to a bar and smoke.
Perhaps people aren't reading profile bios. Even still, what about a photo of me drinking whiskey with my feet up in front of a fire screen? She is clearly into fitness. Any insight into how or why these guys bothered pursuing me when they knew we had nothing in common? I just assumed they were hoping to get laid. I may have to bite the bullet, make and then share my bio and profile with you all to get some tips. Thanks for taking the time again, you lovely people. So last time she wrote in, we told her to just be herself, attract the people that you want to attract by knowing the things that you honestly like to do.
Who you really are. Don't pretend to be someone else.
But it's very hard to know who you are.
Yeah, and listen, that's the problem, right? She's running into a bunch of dudes who just want to get laid. Like, luckily, when you're a guy, that's not something you have to worry about so much. Where it's like, damn, does this girl just want to fuck me? Because the worst case scenario, it's like, oh, that's all right. Like, you know, I'm not going to be devastated.
As long as there's that.
Yeah,
it's so true. You guys don't have to think about that.
Yeah, but what you do have to worry about, which is the same men and women, is like, oh, is this person crazy? You know, that's the problem where you're like, oh, they seem to put on this front, this, and then all of a sudden, like, you're out on that first date and on their fourth drink, they start mumbling stuff that you weren't aware of and things start to get fucking weird. And you're like, oh no.
I was at January 6th.
Yeah. And then here's the one that you said to email, I am a lonely 38-year-old from North Dakota. Let's see what that one is.
This one's from Ryan, a girl, Ryan. She said, you said to email, and I am a lonely 38-year-old from North Dakota. So I assumed you were talking directly to me. I listen to you guys when I'm alone in my kitchen in the middle of the night working on cookie orders. Many times I've snorted or laughed over a cookie because of you three. I feel like you owe me about $40 for all the cookies I've scrapped and given to my little sister.
Now I like her.
Now I like
cookies.
Her.
That's impressive.
Which is why I never eat anything baked by anyone but me. People are gross and don't give their mistake cookies to their little sisters. Have you guys ever done anything gross to food that went to someone else? Also, all the times you guys have talked about love on the spectrum, I'm waiting for you to discuss how freaking awesome Michael is. Did I miss it? I think he's amazing.
Hold on, before we go to more questions, Jamie, have you ever done something gross to food? What about with your kids? Like, do you ever like drop shit or like stuff like that? And you're like, just eat it.
Yeah, you know what? I'm sure I've done gross things to people in other ways, but when it comes to food, it's like the one time I'm like super vigilant. I'm like always washing my hands, really conscious of like touching anything and then touching food.
Yeah, when you make food at your place, I trust it very much. Cass, tell Jamie what you had for lunch. I can't believe we forgot about this. Bury the lead.
Jamie, today I get I texted Rob, I'm going to pick him up. He's like, well, do you want some elk ragu? I was like, sure. I go to pick him up. He's got a silver mixing bowl with tinfoil on it, and in a Whole Foods bag with a bag of gluten-free or a box of gluten-free elbow macaroni. And what a guy, right? He gives me a whole sauce that he made fresh, still in the mixing bowl. Bring it to my house. I boil up some elbow mac and cheese just before we got on here. You always think when a friend makes you something, you're going to be like, it'll be fine. You know, it's not going to blow me away. It's just going to be fine. At least I will have eaten something and it's nice. You know, it's a nice gesture. It was so good. It's something that I would love to have again.
Thank you.
It was just the right amount of spicy. It was the consistency was like, it was thick enough to where it stayed on the noodle, wasn't too watery. This guy made an elk ragu that I'm going to be thinking about for the rest of the night.
Wow.
I am so full. I feel clean,
very clean,
gluten-free. What was it? A wheat pasta?
I know people are like, oh, it's brown rice pasta, which to me, I think it's like, I'm like, ew, I would never, I don't want it. But then sometimes you get to a point where you're like, I could eat brown rice pasta all the time or no pasta all the time. So I found that the elbows have a great consistency. The actual pasta, any kind of noodle, it's not good, but something about the elbow. And
you put enough sauce on it.
Yeah. Something about the elbow being double, like the double layer of pasta.
I'm glad you brought this up. I will, and maybe I'm speaking out of line here. I like an elbow macaroni more than I do almost any other pasta because in general, it's like a penne in which it's like a hollow tube. So sauce gets in and it stays. And if you were to put a mouthful of elbow macaroni in your mouth, the texture of all that macaroni feels good.
Better than multiple penne. Yeah.
Feels better than multiple penne. It feels better than a bunch of spaghetti. It's easier to eat.
Do you like fusilli too?
Oh, I love a fusilli. I do like a penne. I like a rigatoni.
Rigatoni's nice.
I like shells because they are like a little mini bowl.
Yeah.
But an elbow macaroni is the easiest to eat. You don't have to slurp, no sauce.
Right. Well, that's what they use for mac and cheese a lot of the time, like especially at restaurants and stuff.
I'm just saying this guy's good looking, handsome, just a quick wit, so funny, but also just a dynamo in the kitchen. Ladies, you're basically off the market. So, I mean, there's too late. You had your chance. You guys had 2 years worth of this pod to get at my boy here. And guess what?
A year of it, they really had. I was down in things were not.
This guy is off the market. He's cooking elk ragu. The meat, by the way, I thought it was gonna be gamey.
Come on.
I thought it was gonna taste like some, like very just
deer.
Yeah, get it out.
Like venison.
But no, I cooked that shit for 2 hours. My fingertips are still burning from the serrano peppers I chopped up.
How many peppers? Because whatever it was,
serrano peppers.
The perfect amount.
Yeah, 2 serrano peppers, 1 serrano pepper per pound of meat is what I did. I did 2 pounds of elk meat.
Yes.
I mean, we're fucking doing things on here, baby.
So just I want to thank you personally again on camera. He also got a video of me taking my first bite of it. So.
We'll throw it up. Bang, right here. Gabby. And Jamie, Casa met the person I'm dating.
Wonderful gal.
What'd you think?
Oh, the sweetest. Gorgeous. She, but also just so good in a conversation. Very funny. Had a blast. Meeting someone for the first time, especially someone like me, like I could be a lot for someone. She just took it, she just like, I handed the baton, she took the baton and ran with it. just an absolutely fantastic girl. I can't wait to hang with her. She seems like such a catch. But also, I mean, you're no slouch either now, knowing that you have this capability in the kitchen. So it was a blast to hang out with her. She sang a lot of things I didn't think she'd be. She was singing in the karaoke room a lot of country music.
Yeah, she did country, which was surprising.
But she's like, what is she? She's like a brown skin girl.
No, she's Greek. She's Greek, but she's like from New York and Philly. So she's got she's
got a nice mix.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
She's great.
And she's a professional.
And here's the deal. We went to Santa Barbara, which is like 90 minutes from LA. And we spent just me and her, and which I would have loved you to come along. But
great.
We went 90 minutes from LA. Let me tell you something. The fact that Palm Springs stays in business being 90 minutes away from LA, and this Santa Barbara is also 90 minutes away from LA. One of the greatest mysteries of all time.
You're saying you'd rather go to Santa Barbara?
Santa Barbara blows my dick off compared to Palm Springs. It's terrible. The place is, I don't know what anyone goes there for.
Here's Santa Barbara. It's
gorgeous.
It's got the beach. The temperature is so
never hot.
So nice.
Beautiful.
You've got a zoo. You didn't even go to the zoo.
No, of course not. But you were just
making monkey sounds in the bedroom.
Yeah,
that's
right. You know what I'm saying?
But Palm Springs, if you just find you go to the Parker, you're in another place.
Yeah.
You're in the 50s and you're at the pool. It's a completely different vibe.
It's just Palm Springs is like a vibe in general. You just have to have a good destination and you don't leave.
Palm Springs, mid-century chic. Santa Barbara is Spanish mission,
money.
Yeah.
But there's nothing to do in Palm Springs. It's like the desert.
You sit by the pool.
You sit by the pool.
You golf.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You do nothing.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's what people do in LA anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm glad you liked it. I knew that you would enjoy it because you're a beach boy.
Amazing. Had such a great time. So sleepy up there. Everybody's so chill and calm and sweet and just amazing. Everybody was amazing.
Yeah.
Some of the nicest people, and then the most beautiful.
I find people go up there to retire or be fuck it. Imperioli lives up there.
He did. I think he moved back to New York.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, I texted him. But the thing that I've noticed is I think there's certain places where people are I spend 3 months here and I'm I do this because they have $100 million and they're they need more money. They want more money. I feel like Santa Barbara is full of people who made $4 or $5 million doing something. And we're this was my goal to make $4 million. I'm buying a house. I'm going to the beach every day. I throw this ball to my dog. He brings it back. I go eat and I go to bed.
Yeah.
And that's it. We surf, we do this. And they're not these money hungry people who are I need to make more. I need to move to the next thing.
Right.
They just have a house that's pretty nice. They live kind of close to the beach. They drive a car that's all right. And they just are chilling.
And if you need to get to LA, it's an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It's easy peasy.
And a beautiful drive too on the Pacific Coast Highway.
Yeah.
How about that?
You know what? You've sold a lot
Rob
today.
Stan, Santa Barbara.
I'm there. Last thing I felt like we should bring up before we wrap this up. That Cassian baby daddy guy went on a little rampage on Reddit. Did you see it? Have you heard of that?
No.
Can you go to our Reddit and see what's going on? He said, I'm commenting on every Cassian thing until Cassian responds to me. And I think he did a picture of Cassian holding an infant, looking into the infant's eyes. And it said, this could be us, but you're playing. There. I'm complimenting Cass on every Instagram story until he responds. He says, this could be us, babe, but you're playing. He says, I wish you could be my daddy.
This is a he, huh?
Yeah, this is poor Cass. Got the creeps all riled up, someone said.
Yeah.
I support this endeavor. That's what people are.
Okay, well, I see it. Maybe I'll open up my messages. I generally don't respond to a lot of the randos I get, but this I feel like I would easily respond to. So thank you. r/Pajama Pants podcast. If you're on Reddit, you use Reddit. By the way, our boy Robbie was on Dr. Drew After Dark. We saw Dr. Drew at that karaoke party. We said hello.
Really?
Very nice guy. We saw a bunch of people there, but he was there and was very nice as usual. Remembers our pod. Check it out. It's on the YMH Studios network. YMH
Studios. And he remembered Jamie. He's like, oh, she lives in Austin. She should come do my pod. I was like, oh, she would love to do your pod. But he's like, he was super nice. Or we did the pod with him. We laughed a lot. And then I did Where My Mom's At with Christina P. Also, which was a lot of fun. And Rob's Off the Grid. You could get Jamie on, what do I say? You could get Jamie on Instagram at Jamie-Lynn Sigler. You could find us, give us 5 stars on
I generally don't do on iTunes.
On iTunes, give us 5 stars. Review us on
like
iTunes,
and subscribe.
You heard her. What else do we say? Rob is off to Cassian. You find Cassian on G4 TV. He's a fucking star. He's going to Anime Con.
I already
you
did
went to Anime Con. You're going to Comic Con.
Going to Comic Con.
He's going to Comic Con.
See you there.
Any info you want to share about your personal life before you go?
Things are going really well. I got a hot tub. Let's just say the hot tub's working nicely.
Yeah,
it's getting real hot.
Is it the girl you tagged in the hot tub the other night?
No, that's my friend Fiona.
That was Gwen Stefani. Oh, you had Fiona over here in the hot tub?
Yeah, Fiona came in and partook in the hot water.
Hello. Damn, we haven't had a hell yeah dude on the show in a while. Way to Fiona to bring that out. Man. All right. It was great to see you guys. Happy to be back with a pod full of energy. And Jamie, we're happy that you made it through COVID and
me too.
The whole family did.
Thanks for waiting for me.
I can't wait to do this for the next 160 years with you, Jamie.
Me too.
All right, guys. See you next week.